that's kind of crazy that my sound alerts is working. I haven't seen anything pop up yet for that. I think my stream is good to go. I guess we're gonna find out. Oh, hold on. Gloves on. Lock that. Okay, I'll be back. Yeah. Ooh, it is bright out here after being in the van. It got bright. We are going to, it is darn right chilly out here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Which is why I didn't want to go up to the mountain, because the mountain will be even chillier. The one thing I don't miss during this time of year anyways about Montana is the fact that it has each day about a, get rid of some stuff here, about a 40 to 50 degree temperature swing during the days. So it is 25 degrees right now and it's supposed to get up to 63. So 40 degree temperature sweep. And that's pretty normal. Now during the summertime when it's like 100 degrees, those 60 degrees in the morning is really nice. I think we're gonna run some of my routes that I used to run. I better change, there we go. I was trying to get out the door. She's not going. She saw me putting my running gear on. Since I'm running not the trails, she wouldn't make it very far anyways. This is Centennial Park. There's a dog park up here. That's where she likes to go, at least in this town. That is Carroll College right there. That's Mount Helena where we were at yesterday morning. And then Mount Ascension the day before. There's my van. And that's downtown. Right there. Go that way. And we'll eventually make it up that way, hopefully. We'll see. I am not very motivated to run today. But we're going to head down this way. Not very scenic. And then we're going to kind of wind around and then come back. And we'll come back on the other side of the Carroll College here. And then we'll run up into the downtown area. Which is kind of funny that they call it downtown when there's nothing. It's really uptown. There's nothing on the other side of it. That's the old town of Helena. And then we'll take Broadway probably up over around the the state capitol building. And then we'll come back this way and then we'll come underneath this underpass and end right here. Should be about 8 to 10 miles. I guess it depends on where we go up here. But I don't think we're gonna go. We're not gonna go that way, so we'll see. If maybe we can get 8 miles. I don't know. We'll see. I guess my watch has started. I was hoping I was gonna poop this morning. You know, just because you guys like too much information. But because normally, before I run, I poop. So that's why I waited around for a good half an hour after drinking my coffee, all that kind of stuff. And my body's like, nah, you don't need to poop. Which I think I do. And I'm probably going to get about 2 miles into this run and then have to poop. And the problem is there's no restrooms around that area. And in fact, there's no, like, other than the 2 trailheads, there's no restrooms around anywhere. Unless we get to way over by Prickly Pear, then there's some restaurants over there. Or, well, it's called something else, but I only know it because it's owned by the Prickly Pear Land Trust. Prickly Pear Creek is actually the other direction. It would be 10 Mile Creek area, I guess is what I should say. But I just needed to nug out some miles today. I was actually talking to somebody last night. Oh, look at that, we're connected again. This frickin' thing. Oh, Streamlabs is just frustrating me so much. For these streams, I might just have to go and use the Twitch, set up the Twitch thing, which I don't be a little more difficult, but won't be able to access all my stuff like I can on Streamlabs. But I might have to just see if it'll be better, because there is no reason why it wasn't pushing video. Full bars 5G from where I was standing. And my dashboard isn't even up yet, so I don't even know if it's actually pushing or not. This thing is so frustrating. Oh no. The dashboard is kind of back, but not really. So my dashboard said it was coming back, but it's still not up on my screen. Well, I don't know if anything's actually working right now, because all I can see is that supposedly I'm pushing video, but I can't see anything because for whatever reason it's not up on my screen. So here I was excited to run, just nug out some miles like this, because I knew I would have good cell service since I'm running around the city, and we're still having issues. Oh, just killing me, Streamlabs. Why is it not showing me anything? Hold on, guys. I'm gonna flip you this way. Okay, if I flip it that way, supposedly I have 5 people. Oh, now it's gonna show me. Okay, cool. Fucking thing. I don't get it. Streamlabs, you're getting another nasty gram from me. I'm hoping that my last one is what caused them to have to push that update so that my chat works now. I'm guessing I wasn't the only one, but still, I want to think that I'm the one that did it. don't remember what this little park is. This thing's tiny though. It's just a tiny little park. There was some sort of like dredging equipment here. Sorry, there's all these little holes and stuff. I don't know if it was for mining or for gravel or what. I have no idea. For living in this area for so long, I should know this, but I don't. But then we're gonna go, so probably about another mile heading this direction, but we're pretty close to exiting this park, and then we'll be on going through a little residential area until we hit one of the main streets going east and west, and then we're going to head west towards the fairgrounds. And then once we hit the fairgrounds, we're turning north until we hit the one of the big trails that actually goes quite a ways. It goes all the way out to 10 Mile and the Prickly Pear Land Trust area where I was last night. And then it ends actually just a little ways past where we just started. So it's not like really long, but because it connects to other things, you can get some good distance. When I was training for marathons, I would, in order to be able to get, 20, 22 miles runs in, I would actually run what I'm running now, but instead of going to the fairgrounds, I would actually, right before the fairgrounds, head south and go about, probably, I don't know what it is, like 3 or 4 miles, and then hit some, like a little road. Oh geez, it looks like I lost everybody. Fine, I'll stop babbling. But I would hit like a little residential road that would then kind of weave up to a gravel road that then would kind of head up, get some good vertical for marathon training anyways, probably about 150 feet or so vertical to the top of what's called Head Lane, and then you take Head Lane all the way down to where we were at last night and connect back into the trails, and then just come all the way back on that one trail I was just talking about. It ended up being about 20, well, it depended. I mean, I'd add in what I could add in here or there, but about 20 miles. Could be as little as like 15, I think. But I would usually, like at the beginning of this, I would head up and add in an extra like 2 miles going towards the airport, and then when you get to where I was at last night, kind of run around and weave around those trails, add a couple extra miles. So it just depended. In all actuality, I think if I took in like just did just the basic route that I just described. It actually might only be 12 miles if you don't weave around the trails in the 10-mile area. I'm just doing a nice easy pace right now. I do need to start doing some speed work, some tempo miles, but I can't do those while I'm talking to you guys. I'm wearing the New Balance Fuel Cell Rebel 2s. I do really like these shoes for just nugging out some easy miles, but they're light enough you can do tempo miles in them too. But I like the Brooks Hyperion Tempos for doing any speed work. Which is still probably my favorite shoe. I love that shoe. I use it for everything. I don't like spending a lot of money having different shoes for everything. So if I can find one shoe that'll, I can do easy runs or tempo runs or long runs or whatever, I'll just use that. And that's that shoe for me. And then I usually have like a marathon racing shoe for road running. Now for trail running, I have a few different trail shoes just because I like to test shoes out. But I do have to say that just all around shoe, the Brooks Caldera 5s are probably my choice. The next best would be the Solomon S-Lab Pulsars. I like that shoe too, quite a bit. But I wouldn't take that in anything like muddy where you need some aggressive tread. I'd actually take the Caldera 5s, and it's not super aggressive, but pretty good, pretty decent. Wow, I don't even have my mod account for some reason, because I don't know who was on and was watching, but to go from 5 viewers down to 1 is very unusual for me. At a minimum, I usually have 2, because I have my mod account and my Streamlabs. So one of those 2 went down, probably Streamlabs. I will say though that even though it's, probably 26 out right now, maybe a little warmer because the sun's come up a bit, 28, 29. But it definitely feels a whole lot warmer than, say, 30 degrees in DC with that high humidity. That stuff, gosh dang, I'd be just cold. But I will say, like last night, well, all day yesterday, it was 50 some degrees. I don't even know what the high got to, probably over 60. But that wind was so cold that the real feel was down in like the 30s or low 40s. And this is the golf course, by the way. One of them. There's another one out of town, but this is the main one everybody uses. I actually like the other one better, but it's probably 10 miles out of town. But it's in the foothills of the mountains, going towards Canyon Ferry, which is a lake. But anyways, so it is the equivalent of like the humidity, the way the wind is over here. Because even though the wind blows occasionally over there, the wind never really felt cold. It did occasionally, but not like over here. It's just a bitter wind. But the opposite is nice too, because we get the Chinook winds or warm winds over here. But I'm not a wind fan anyways. I don't care if it's a warm wind or a cold wind. I dislike the wind. I will run in the rain, the snow, all of that. Oh, I got the light. But I extremely dislike running in wind. Hold on, I'm gonna look at something here. I was just checking to see if something was all goofed up with my street glass, because that was very unusual for me to only have one person on. Very unusual. Now granted, it's a little bit later. It's like 9:25 Mountain Standard Time. Or Mountain Time or whatever. I don't know. I am a little confused on this whole bill that was proposed. I don't know if it was passed or not. About it was either permanent daylight savings time or getting rid of the daylight savings time. I don't even know which. But somebody told me it was like permanent daylight savings time. That is the stupidest thing ever. Like 90% of the world doesn't use daylight savings time, so why would you make it permanent? Get rid of it. Daylight savings time was, originally just because of, well, a couple different, it was mostly because of school. But indirectly because of schools. It was because when they created it, most of the population was still in rural areas. So daylight savings time allowed them to be able to do their chores, kids to be able to do chores before they went to school. So if you look back, that is actually how daylight savings time came about. There'll be other things that'll be like, oh no, it was this or this. That is actually how daylight savings time came about. They just need to get rid of it, not make it permanent. Because if you're making it permanent, then what you're actually doing is you're just changing your time zone. That's all you're doing. And by the way, you're changing it to something that the rest of the world will be off on. It's kind of like those few countries over in the Middle East. There are probably some other places too, but I remember when I was deployed that there was a couple countries in the Middle East that were like half an hour different. Talk about screwing you up. That really screwed you up. So you'd be like, oh, it's 8:30. Oh no, it's 1 a.m. back home. How's it 1 a.m? It's 8:30 here. Oh, so just ran by one of the two big high schools here. And then right past this billboard on the right is the beginning of the fairgrounds. But up here at this intersection, we're going to turn left. You know, I was thinking about this the other day, like, because I had my vehicle towed when I was in Crystal City right at the beginning of the pandemic when they weren't supposed to be towing vehicles. I all of a sudden just looked out my window and my truck was gone. Come to find out, the company that vultures are or predates maybe our parking lot back there decided they were just going to start towing vehicles again, even though the building manager was like, no, they're not supposed to be doing that, because they didn't have anybody in the leasing office because of the pandemic, or weren't allowing people into the leasing office. I think they had like one person that would work there. But so you couldn't get your new parking permits for the parking lots. So they suspended all the towing of the vehicles. Well, for whatever reason, they decided towing company, they got hit hard. I can't imagine how much money they lost. But because of that, because they weren't authorized to do it yet. But, you know, like the building manager had to reimburse me it was like $360. I had to go pay $360 to get my vehicle out. Even though they acknowledged that they weren't supposed to tow yet. So instead of them just bringing my vehicle back to me, I had to travel 10 miles to go get it. And by the way, public transportation was minimal and didn't go to get too close to that area. So I just ran up there. So it's 10 miles. Like, close I could have got was probably 2 miles away. But, yeah, I can't imagine how much money they lost, because I know our building manager basically went after them for all the reimbursements they had to do, which means the towing company lost money on that, because not only did they have to, so say I spent $360, you know, to get it. So I don't know, like maybe $20 in labor from the tow truck driver, and then I don't know, maybe $5 in gas or whatever. So out of their actual expenses was probably $35. But they had to pay back the $360. That's what I had to pay. So they were losing money. Instead of total cost being, say $35, it would have been like $395. But I guess that goes back to my question was, my truck was backed in. So in order for him to pull that thing out, he would have had to basically hook up the front end, pull the vehicle out, which means since I had it in park, they're either breaking off the deal in my transmission for the park, or they're dragging my tires on the ground. So that's my first question, like, how do they do that? But then the next question is like, what if I had my vehicle in four-wheel drive? Because that time of year, it could have been snowy out. So when I parked, it could have been in four-wheel drive. And he would think, oh, normally you just grab the back end, and because the front wheels would be spinning. But if I had a four-wheel drive, that wouldn't be the case. And yeah, you might say that. And it was an automatic transmission, so there's no way they could just, take a Slim Jim and break in and put it in neutral. So here's where the trail that I was talking about joins up. So you can take this. Sometimes I would, like at that last light, I would head back that direction and then hook up on this trail and come back. But this actually goes, if you continue on, let's say it'd be about 1-2 miles further. It'll go next to a bird sanctuary type of thing. I don't know, some National Park Service wildlife management thing. I think it's just birds. It might be everything. You might have lots of stuff there. Oh, I really have to pee. I was hoping there was a spot down here I could sneak down on where nobody'd be able to see me. Maybe there is. I'm running while doing the pee-pee dance, so okay, you guys hold up right here. I'm gonna go pee. Okay, much better. Now we're gonna head back, hop on the actual trail again. But anyways, talking about the towing thing more. I know, You know, then that just makes me think like my van. It's all-wheel drive and an automatic. Like, how do these tow truck drivers handle that stuff? No, I know. Like, you just put like some sort of like wheel dollies underneath one of the axles and then hook up to the other side and lift it up and go. But I watched these guys in this other, back in DC, because my window overlook one of the big parts of the parking areas. And I watched these guys. Oh, here's these. So when you see this around here, that's because these engines, so they had a huge train derailment accident here years ago, because the trains come down off the Continental Divide and somehow like couldn't stop, made it all the way down here, like chemical spills, all that kind of stuff. But so what those are for is to help as braking vehicles or pushing vehicles to get up over the Continental Divide. So there's a big train rail yard here, and that's what they do for the bigger, heavier trains, is send those engines up, and because it's a lot easier and more economical just to send some of those up, and instead of having them permanently attached to the train and going the whole way. But anyways, to get back, so all-wheel drive. So I've watched these guys, these vultures, literally they'll have like a spotter. He'll drive in just a normal car, but you could tell who he is because he's slowly going through the parking lot looking for parking permits on vehicles, and then he tags the vehicle if it doesn't have anything, and then about 20 minutes later you'll see 5 or 6 tow trucks show up, and they will just like grab and go. They literally just like grab the vehicle really fast and then go about half a block down the street, and then they'll permanently hook it up because they want to get out of there before the owner notices. Right before I left, I watched one guy, tow truck guy, trying to hook onto a vehicle, and they had a hell of an alarm system on that vehicle. So as soon as he started lifting that thing up, that alarm went off. But then the owner, I don't know where it lived, but you would think that the vehicle would be kind of parked close to their apartment, because these were assigned parking spots for the building adjacent to ours. And the owner never came out, never did anything. So the guy drove away with the alarm going off the whole time. So we were at only 3.6 miles. So we might not even get 8 today, but we'll see. I'm gonna go, 2, another 2. Oh yeah, we'll get 8. We're easily gonna get 8. If we run all the way up to Broadway. And then over to the state capitol, and then back. Shoot, we're probably gonna be closer to 10. So we're right about where I wanted to be. Now the bad part is this next probably 2 miles, I think it is, about up to Broadway, is uphill. That's good, but it's because I need more vert. It sucks for running. Like, it needs to be steeper, so you walk it, power hike it. Not runnable, but I mean, I've been running it for years now, so it's very doable. It's not like really super steep or anything like that. Even though the crosswalk is up here a little further, we're going to take the opportunity and cross now because there's no traffic. But there is traffic coming up behind me. It's a pretty famous little, you wouldn't think it, but concrete casting place for, they have actually, it's just a tiny little operation, but they're so good at what they do. They've actually gone and consulted over in the Middle East for companies over there. Whew. So this is Carroll College. It is a relatively small Catholic college, but years ago, frickin' powerhouse in football. I don't know if they were NAIA or Division II or something like that. Definitely not Division I, but shoot, they won like 10 out of the last like 12 years for a big long stretch. Now, not so much. Still pretty decent programs, but not a powerhouse like they used to be. And even out of those 12 years, they went to the national championship game. They just didn't win it. So, still a very good football program. And I think they've had a few people that went pro. Heart rate's starting to go up since we're climbing uphill. Like I said, it's not like a super steep hill, but it's enough that you notice. We'll get a little bit of a reprieve once we go across the main street up here. It's not called Main Street, but it's the highway that cuts through town. I am always, not necessarily worried, but concerned just because of the awkwardness of it that I'm going to run into either my ex-wife or part of her family, because I'm pretty sure they all live here still. But I don't really know because I don't communicate or follow them or anything, so I let them live their own life. Whew. I mean, I wish the best for him. I want him to, but I don't have any ill feelings or bad attitude toward them. I just don't want the awkwardness myself right into it. Be like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm back in town. There's a part of me that would like to run some marathons for fun. I know that is something that a lot of people don't understand. Running a marathon for fun. But it would be a good training for me, since my long runs now are, 30 plus miles. Just my regular long training runs. So for me, 8 to 10 is usually a short run that we're doing today. Now, here lately, because I've been doing a lot of vert and stuff like that, and I've been having my dog, the most I've been able to knock out is maybe 3 to 5 miles. But hit the button. Oh, and we just missed the light, so we're gonna have to wait a whole cycle. But to do something like grandma's marathon, when I ran that, I was chasing a BQ. So, but it would be a lot of fun to run, because that was a fun course, and the community, all that kind of stuff, it would just be like really fun. But so I think I like marathons like that, or the Seattle Marathon, which is really, really hilly. Now, I've pushed myself on that marathon because I've been a pacer. So, almost, other than the very first time I ran that thing, I've been a pacer. So I had to push myself to, because I was the pacer for the 3 hour, 10-minute group. But I think you could have a lot of fun just running that, for me, a comfortable pace would be a 3:45 or 4 hour, just to have fun pace. Not that I'd have to run that. I could run slower if there's anybody out there. That was one thing for my coaching, which I really need to get my everything all set up for that. Should be able to go. Yep. One of the things I wanted to do as my coaching part of service was, I'm going to help you meet your marathon goal. Well, some of that would be, if you want me to pace you during the marathon, I'll do it. Whether that's a 4 hour marathon or a 6 hour marathon, I don't care. That would be one of the funnest things. I loved when I was pacing for the races. Usually 3 or 4 races a year over in Seattle. That was the funnest thing I've ever done in my life. I loved it. Seeing other people reach their goals, even though I'd never hardly ever reached my goals, but I had lofty goals. But seeing other people, I got way more enjoyment out of that than chasing my own goals. But a lot of that could be that I always failed to reach my goal. Not always, though. I remember when I first got into long distance running, I had a goal of reaching, running the half marathon in 2 hours. And then that race, I did it in 2:01. It was just barely missed it. Now, granted, I wasn't feeling very well. Pretty sure I had food poisoning the night before that race. So I was not running at 100%. But what was it, about a month later, I ran another half marathon, and I ran like a 1:40 something. So I smashed that goal. And then that actually encouraged me, because then I was like, gosh dang, I actually can improve and do pretty good. So then my next goal was to get a 1:30. And then I beat that goal and got a 129 something, or 128 or something like that. So I smashed that goal, and then decided I wanted to run the New York City half marathon, and for that I have to run a 125. And so I trained really hard for that for a year, and ended up running a 125.48. So I did not get that goal, because I needed to be sub 125. Oh, we got our light. I didn't hit the button, but we would have the light right now if I did. Now I have ran sub 125 for a half marathon, but it's been part of a marathon, so it doesn't count for New York City. But I don't know, this year I was going to try and do it. I might sign up for, I have to look at the timing of it. But there's a half marathon over in Billings, Montana, called the Montana Marathon, that I might sign up for it and see. Maybe if I can get some speed work done. But I do really want to just run some marathons for fun. I'm running one here. There's a local one here that I was kind of a local legend at. Definitely not, I never won it or anything. There's a guy that lives in Missoula that completely just smashes the race. He's fast. But I was always in the top 3. So I was very recognizable, and there was people around the state that would look to see, because I would sign up for the half marathon one year, marathon the next year, or whatever. Never usually the same race every year. So speaking of which, there's a lady here that has set the course record, and she's local. Heather something. I can't even think of her last name now. Set the course record for the 5K, 10K, half marathon, and full marathon. It won it multiple years. She is an amazing runner. But anyways, there's guys around the state that would actually look and see, because you could see who's signed up on the rosters, and they'd look to see which race I signed up for, and then they would sign up for the other one. Just because they knew, more for the age thing, for the Masters, but they knew that if I wasn't running, then they would probably get a top 3 finish on the age group, which was important for them, and I get it. So what are we at now? That was 5. So we're actually almost to Broadway. So for those of you wondering, that building right there, or no, right there, I'm pointing, not looking at the screen, but that is the building where I own my condo. So we will Out here. So this area of town has some pretty good little shops and restaurants and stuff like that here. There's a lot of professional offices too, but there's a bakery up here, Park Avenue Bakery. Oh, their food is so good. They have a French loaf called an epi loaf. Fantastic. But their pastries are Earl Grey wedge and their lemon wedge and stuff like that are so good. Chocolate croissants are good. They have a ham and cheese croissant, which is just drooling now thinking about. So if we're going up to Mount Helena, we would actually go up here, and then there's a trail that way, or you could take these stairs and kind of weave up there too. And then library down there. Base camp is a great place for outdoor equipment, but I will tell you that they are very expensive. But the stuff that they have, there's a reason why it's expensive. It is very, very good equipment. But you're talking like, you know, your North Face and Patagonia and that kind of stuff. The higher quality stuff. Somewhere around here, for some reason I was thinking it was in this building, is my tattoo artist. And I need to talk to him about my next tattoo. And then this is the downtown walking area. So again, there's that building right there is the building that I own an apartment in. This is the walking area. Used to be a street. This is Last Chance Gulch. The only thing that's allowed to come down through here now is the trolley. The Windbag Saloon right there has great food, great atmosphere. There's a toy store down there that I love wandering into. Higher quality type stuff. And then very famous candy, like chocolate store down here, which for a while the original owners, is what it was made it famous. They had it for like 40 years. Then some new people came and bought it from California. If you're from California, I'm not going to apologize. They came up here and ruined it. They started using inferior quality products, trying to save the buck, that kind of stuff. And it was crap. And everybody knew it. So they ended up selling it. They only had it for like 2 years. They ended up selling it to somebody else who went back to the original stuff. Though one of the owners, he went and consulted with them and got it back to where it used to be. So it's still not like original, but it's really close. And then there's an ice cream place down there that's really good too. But yeah, and there's a couple bars there, because this is the building that I own a condo in. There's a burrito place downstairs, which is really good. And then right across the way is a bar that I used to go to all the time. But enough chit-chatting. We got to run to the Capitol now, which I think is about 1.5 miles away, which will put us at about 7 miles. And then, we'll be 10, maybe a little over. But we're going to come back and we're going to run through kind of through the downtown area, I guess. We're not going to be all the way back here. But let's run up this hill. It is very steep, but I always ran it, so if I can't run it now, there's some big issues. And then, didn't show it to you guys, but we did just run by a very fancy restaurant, which has very good food. Key to remember about pretty sure. Maybe not, I don't know. I was gonna say that might have been my, speaking of tattoo artists, that might have been him. I don't think he was tall enough though. But anyways, the key about going uphill is smaller steps, short steps, short, quick steps. I got the short steps going on right now, not the quick steps. But we've almost made it to the top. Oh, somebody. There we go. It does feel like it's warming up a bit, or it could just be me. But I had to swipe away a message and took my glove off and it felt a little bit warmer. Okay, we made it to the top. Now it's not downhill, but a little bit downhill. We have another portion where I have to climb up right before Montana Avenue. Say that person was cruising, and I know that's a four-way stop. I guess they noticed it was a four-way stop too, because they slammed on the brakes at the last minute. So I think this is, oh no, that was Rodney that we just went through. That street has a, I don't know if it's the most rough and dive-ish. Anyway, pretty much all the bars here are dive bars. Not gonna lie. Other than the Windbag, because they serve food and everything. And then, you know, it's sad to see that one of my favorite bakeries ended up closing. That was on Rodney Street. But that's the nature. I'm guessing pandemic, they just couldn't pay the rent. So Helena to the trail, but I'm still in the downtown, so I have access to all the different type of food and everything, whatever I want, without having to drive anywhere. But I thoroughly dislike the town of Helena because it is very I don't know a nice way to put it. It is very old, white, Catholic, rich people money in this town. They run the town. And then because it's the state capital, there is some. Now I'm an independent person, but I will tell you right now, the influence in this town that is horrible because of this being the capital is the very, very left liberal influence. Now, there's a lot of other towns in Montana where the opposite, I would say, is true. The influence of the extremely right conservative is horrible. But this town, it's that. To kind of explain what I mean is, up until a few years ago, say you wanted to go get, it was a Sunday evening, we'll say. I was like, I could really go for some Mexican food. Let's go out to eat. Ain't gonna happen. Because no restaurants are allowed to be open on a Sunday night. Now, because they've had a few more more chain type restaurants coming in and that kind of stuff. And the fact that another bad part about this town is, well, it used to be nothing but casinos and banks. But a part of those casinos, that's where the Mexican restaurants would, and I use the term Mexican loosely, very Americanized, more Tex-Mex than Mexican. There's only one real place up here that has authentic Mexican food, and it's a little taqueria, and the guy that owns it is from Mexico, and his family owned and operated the best tacos in this area. In fact, I would say the only better tacos, because history tacos are so good, the only better place I've had for tacos is a little old lady has a little taco stand, taco trailer in Austin, Texas, where she has some tacos de lengua that is the best I've ever had. This guy, I got to know him pretty well, and he would occasionally make tacos de lengua for me. Not very popular here, which is weird because it is very, I don't care. I gotta turn off my Twitter notifications because I keep getting shit that I'm not even like following, like Katy Perry something or other. I don't care. What do I care about Katy Perry? Like, that doesn't even have anything to do with anything I follow on Twitter. Anyways, it's kind of weird because, like, growing up, although I was about 100 miles north of here, very rural, like beef tongue and stuff was eaten because when we went and butchered our cows, we were selling the meat, you know, for a living, and then you would keep the beef tongue for yourself because it was a cheap cut of meat. So you would think it'd be popular, but not as much. But anyways, so these Mexican restaurants moved in with these casinos and joined inside of them. So then they were able to be open all the time because the casinos were, even on a Sunday night, could be open, which is weird. It goes totally against the old rich white people Catholic influence, but I guess the casino administration here, lobbying organizations probably have a lot of power because there's still every 3 or 4 blocks a casino, it seems like, and a bank, because people have to go get their loans, then go hit the casino. There's the state capitol. The two very, so it's kind of set up kind of like the U.S. Capitol. So we have like a representative wing and like a senator wing. Those 2 wings are the newer portions of this building. That's why the stone is a different color. If you ever get a chance to visit here and you're into art, the world's most famous Western art, Western artist, I guess I should say, Charlie M. Russell, he has a couple stuff in there, huge murals and huge paintings and stuff. Definitely go see him. It is like his art is amazing. Now his museum, the actual, well, there's some over here and there's museum over here too, but his museum is up in Great Falls because that's where he was from. So go see that too if you ever make it to Great Falls, Montana. But we're gonna run up here and run around to the other side of the thing here and see if I doubt they have, but one of the big things they do every year is a huge flower display on the front part of the U.S. Capitol. It usually says something either. I would imagine this year, just because there's nothing else, probably just the number 2022 for the year. That's what they do some years. Other times, if it's something exciting or famous going on that year in the state, they'll have something else there. But they use the different colors of flowers to draw different pictures or spell something out, which is really cool. Now, this is the way I would go also. I was talking about a couple days ago when we were out on Mount Ascension, where I would go up. One of my favorite road runs was to go up, because it's all road this way. I'm slowing down just because I don't want to have to pass these people. And you would go out past the hospital, and then you would kind of turn and you'd go up into the hills up there, uphill road, and then you'd come out on Mount Ascension. This is actually right here part of the marathon course too, when you come into town. Now it starts 20 miles south of town. So, but this is the final couple miles coming in, and it ends, the course actually ends right where I live. So, we're gonna head this way now. So it was always convenient for me, because in the morning I would just hop on the shuttle bus, go out to wherever now that's the most recent course. The old course used to be out there, but it still ended here. It was still 20 miles out of town, just a different direction. So this wasn't on the course more than 3 years ago, I guess. 4 years ago, maybe. But still ended right in my house. And then literally I'd end, and then I could go upstairs, take a quick shower, come back downstairs in time for the awards thing. So I'd be the only person that was all cleaned up and all that, jumping up on the podium, which was kind of funny. Everybody else is still hobbling around, doing whatever in their running clothes. Here I am, all refreshed and clean. We're gonna go to this next. There's the other museum I was talking about right there. We're gonna go down here. Oh, it looks like we can. I don't know what they got. They're building something up over here. Is it all blocked off? Can I not go this way? What do they got going on here? So this must not going to be a through street anymore. Well, that is crazy. I wonder what they got going on. We're going to take a look. So we might have to go back that half a block, and yeah, see, that's going to be a complete building going across. So they must be expanding the museum, I'm guessing. That's just crazy. So that's usually where I go down, because it goes right in front of the Capitol. So I guess we're going to take this, go down half a block, and then come back in front of the museum, which is where the little trolley goes, which is only there for the tourists. That's all it is. But I'm not gonna lie, even when I was living here for so long, it was kind of fun to hop on that trolley, and because you never get to see the city like from that viewpoint, I guess. And I use that term city loosely after living in a city of 7 million people for the last couple of years. A city of 25 or whatever it is I'm just going to start the town of Helena. That's probably more appropriate. Because it is not city. But you never get to like see it, when you're living here, you're driving places or even me running around, that kind of stuff. You don't really get to see the city from that kind of a viewpoint. Museum's open. That's the Montana Museum. But the trolley, it looks like it still goes here. It must not be working right now. Oh, May 1st. Okay. So the trolley doesn't start up until May 1st. Because I was like, where the tour train usually goes, or the little trolley. 30th, that's not very long. But it's all kept by donations and everything, so I could see that it would be difficult to get your home in the Montana Heritage Center. So they're expanding the museum. Looks like twice the size. But they do have a pretty good inside here. A pretty good Charlie Russell little display in there too. But like I said, in there, if you get a chance to go in there, that's where you want to go. Other than the museum up in Great Falls. But one of his most famous paintings is in here, and it is huge. Just humongous. But the museum up in Great Falls actually has, the museum was built around his original studio. It's just a tiny little cabin looking thing that was his studio where he worked every day. Here's mid-1900s, early mid-1900s. That's when he was alive, painting. I don't know when he died, to tell you the truth, but we're gonna cross here because we want to be over on this side anyways. Well, actually, I wonder, I gotta think of where we're at. This is 6th Street. Yeah, this will work. I think, because this should go down in front of the walking mall. Yeah, so we're good. It's been a while since I've been here. Because one of the things I wanted to run by for you guys was the cathedral, which is what I was saying the other day, is probably the most iconic feature in Helena is the Catholic cathedral here. Again, Catholic town. Even though it's not as much anymore as it used to be, but you still got, I didn't run through it, but there is a area here called the Mansion District, which would have been when we were running up the street. Even though there's mansions scattered all over this area of the town, but there's one area in particular that is all these old mansions from the late 1800s, early 1900s, from all the people that made money from mining in the state, and then because this was the state capital, had their mansions here so that they could have influence. But they're old Victorian style mansions, 150-year-old, just huge. Like, I don't know how somebody can even afford to live there anymore. Well, I mean, if it's still owned by the family that built it, yeah, I can see it because they keep it up to code and livable would be so expensive. lot of the what I would call the bigger, more mansion houses here anymore, at least over in this section, they've turned into apartments, multifamily living. But there's a few bed and breakfasts over on this side. We'll run by one of them. If I would have gone two blocks further around the state capitol, we could have ran around the governor's mansion, because it's right there. Huge. This is kind of the architecture, kind of that Victorian style architecture that is famous for a lot of the old buildings here. Yeah, I like that right there. Like a lot of these houses are just big. I don't know if you guys can see actually how big some of these are, but like this one here is an apartment building now. Because a lot of these are probably 6,000 square feet, 6-8 bedrooms probably. So why not turn them into apartments? You know, like that house right there has 4 apartments in it. It used to just be one house. So I don't think we're going to get 10 miles. Because we're probably maybe 1.5 miles away. Should be right about 9 miles. But it is kind of nice. The one nice thing about when I run around here, running through like neighborhoods like this, safe neighborhoods, even though we're starting to get into the low income side of town. Like right here, this building is low income. And it is easily a 150-year-old building, probably. You see the backside of it, all the different little old wooden stuff. Probably was a brothel, if I had to guess, back when it was first built. Just a guess. But there was quite a bit of those, like the Windbag Saloon, that was a brothel. As well as straight up here is like a famous building. So it called the Montana Club building. So when you that was famously a brothel and everything there too. And now it is there's Jester's, the bar right there has an infamous dive bar. Is it this one or the next one that I want to go down so we can run by some of the mansions, because we're starting to get into the mansion district again. So we'll go down to the next one. I think it's the next one, because my favorite tree in this whole town is at that bed and breakfast. I don't know why. There's just something about that tree that speaks to me. It's huge, very old. As you can see, we're starting getting into, like I said, some of the mansions. Even though the other side over there of the downtown area where the actual mansion district is, but this is where a lot of the mansions are too. This was actually the original governor's mansion right here. Comes complete with its own on a lot of these, especially on the other side, the old mansions was an old stable barn. But all these, like, that's a bed and breakfast, an old mansion. But this one right here is, this huge mansion is my favorite tree. This is a bed and breakfast too. But they have a library. I need to find one of these libraries around here. Cause I got a couple of books I should drop off. But this is my favorite tree. It just has character and it's huge and old. I just love it. I just love this tree. And then, I think I'm the other direction. I was looking straight up, so I thought I had the camera the other way, even though I don't. Okay, we're gonna head over here and go around the front side of down the side and around the front of the cathedral, and then we'll head downtown. But yeah, all these houses are just huge. Not all of them. The newer ones aren't. That's an old mansion, and then you start getting into some newer houses. But and then there's some older houses up here too. And then another bed and breakfast right here on this huge mansion. And I'll tell you right now, yeah, these are mansions. Oh, these are apartments. They turned these into apartments. This used to be a bed and breakfast. Maybe it still is a bed and breakfast, but it's called the Barrister Apartments. What? I'm confused because that used to be. Oh, there must be something going on. Friday Mass? It's only 10:30. What? I don't know. Maybe there's a funeral or something going on. But yeah, this is the Helena Cathedral. The most famous or most recognizable feature, I guess I should say, in Helena, because it kind of sits up on this hill, and then the spires go really high, so you can see them from 20 miles away, really. Like if you're coming down off the North Hills or the South Hills, coming north off to the South Hills. But yeah, there's the cathedral. This is a brand new school. It used to be a school a long time ago. And then in the earthquake back, I don't know, 40 years ago or so, damaged it. But yeah, there's the cathedral. But the earthquake damaged it, and then they had to close it down for safety reasons. And it wasn't until just like 2-3 years ago that they rebuilt a new school, tore down demolished the old one and built a new one. And it is, for a school that was known as, even in its day, to not be so kind of rough and had a bad reputation, I guess. It is the biggest, most technological, fancy school in all of Helena now. Of course, it is the newest one too, but it's kind of funny. I'm gonna let these people go. I don't want to go that way. I do want to go. I think we'll just go straight. I said I was going to take you guys downtown, so we'll go to downtown. We'll run down. Last chance, even though we missed some of the good stuff like the bookstore and some of that stuff up there, but we'll go this way. There is we're getting into the town, or part of town that has all the homeless people. And there is a little homeless shelter up here. Not like an official homeless shelter, but like a private place that does a lot for the people here. We're gonna run. This is the part of that's actually a street. But there used to be an old running store right there that was for sale for the longest time. And I went in there one time. It was not the best running store. So there's a reason why it went under. But now it's something else. I don't know what it is now. But I always had aspirations of possibly like being able to buy it and have an actual running store. So I thought that would be pretty cool. Now we're into some of the other bars that are all the dive bars. The Mercantile right here. If you want hot chocolate, the best hot chocolate. If you want little stocking stuffers, I suggest going in there too. For like Christmas stocking stuffers, I mean. Aunt Bonnie's Books is a good bookstore right here. I like going in there, seeing what I can find. Fire Tower Coffee that we just passed is pretty good. There used to be a restaurant here called Murray's. I don't know if it's still here, but it was really, really good. Nope. It is not here anymore, so at some point it closed down. It used to be right here. It is now this Wild Child Collective. That's unfortunate because that was a good place to eat. That was like sweet for me. Heard dive bars. Well, this is the dive motel, the Budget Inn Express right here. Sitting right across from the little homeless shelter, which is this little area right here. Which, like I said, it's not really a shelter, but they do stuff. God's Love, it's a Catholic organization, healthcare for the homeless, that kind of stuff. So it's a good organization. They do good stuff for the homeless people there. But this is usually where they all hang out because of that. Which I get. I mean, free soup at night, that kind of stuff. This is famously called Malfunction Junction because it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 streets all come into one intersection. We're gonna go up here. That used to be my barber shop. Good thing my battery's almost dead. How long have we been running? Hour and 40 minutes. That's pretty good. We're over 8 miles. So we're barely gonna make probably 9 miles. I never hit the button, but I know which street I can cross on, and it's where that white van is right in front of us. But when they get to go, that's when we get to go. But I was actually glad to see that my barber is still barbering, even though I've told myself I'm not going to cut my hair for a long time. At least until May 1st. So another month and a half, I guess. Will be the first time I will think about cutting my hair, but I don't know if I will be doing that or not. I tell myself I'm going to give until then to see if I can take it or not. Let's see how I look. I can tell you after showering last night that the last 3 years of me working over DC has not done well for my aging. I look a whole lot older than I used to. I'm starting to look how old I actually am now. I used to look 10 years younger, but no, the wrinkles have grown and that kind of stuff. But then I also noticed last night, now that my hair is getting a lot longer, that I am starting to suffer from the Berkelsmann hair thinning up top. And I have held off so well I thought for sure I was going to make it without. Actually, let's turn down here. There used to be a barbecue place down here that was really, really good barbecue. And then there's a little distillery down here as well. That's pretty good spirits. Yeah, so both my brothers and my dad and all my uncles, all that, they started thinning on the top of their head in their early 30s. And so I made it 10 plus years longer than they did. But it's starting to show now. There's a little distillery that eat or blacks down there. But it's pretty good. Really big movie theater. Pretty decent. Surprisingly for this area. Oh, so this building was right here. Okay, I just didn't recognize it. They must have painted it differently. But I don't know if I don't see anything new, like any restaurants or anything around there. This is the Silver Star Steak Company, which is a chain in this area. Not Silver Star, but there's a restaurant chain. A restaurateur, I should say, that owns 4 or 5 restaurants between here and Bozeman and Missoula that are all similar, different names, but similar menu and all that kind of stuff. And so the Silver Star, it's actually good food. Overpriced for what it is, but I had a pretty good duck breast there and blackberry sauce or compote. The creperie that used to be down here is now up in the other area where I live, or where I own, I should say. The famous carousel for Helena. There's a big carousel in there, but I think most people just go for the ice cream. But if you want ice cream, go to the place up by where I own my condo. Big Dipper up there. Oh, so good. But I could see that with the kids. They jump on the carousel or whatever. But my favorite thing down here is this place. This is Exploration Works. It's all sciencey and stuff. They have a robot, like a robot club for the kids, that kind of stuff. It's really cool. It's a really cool place. And here's the tunnel at the beginning that I told you guys we were going to come out at, and head out towards where the van's parked, which you can see from here. Hopefully my dog's warm enough. If she jumped up on the bed, she would definitely be warm enough. But she's a weirdo and is probably in the front seat instead. But yeah, we're back. We're back in the park. So that was a big tour. We will be at 9 miles by the time we get there, just barely 9 miles. Which is good because I only have like 10% battery left. And I think I'm gonna go and just because I don't know any place to get potable water around here that's like public accessible. So we might have to run to my old work and go fill up. Actually, I'm not gonna worry about it. I still have 2.5 gallons left, which is plenty. So to give you guys an update, I'll wait till I get to the van here. If I have enough, but no, because I just got the other battery warning, so I I will just fill you guys in now. I may not run for the next couple days. We'll see. Because I might be going out to a campsite that I might not have very good signal for. So I might not be able to stream my runs. But we can see if I really need signal because there's a lot of stuff. I just need to go somewhere and sit. There's a lot of stuff I gotta do on my computer that I never do. And I don't think it is gonna get to 60 whatever degrees it's supposed to get today, because that sun is pretty high and it is extremely overcast still. Let's see where she's at. Yeah, she's in the front seat, the weirdo. Hi. She's such a weirdo. I don't know why. I mean, I get it because she likes to watch out the window, but so she must be pretty toasty in there. She must not be cold. I'm probably going to take and grab the ball, throw the ball for her out here a little bit, play with her, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do. There's a place because I really need to just unload all this stuff and start building everything. I got all this wood right here, that's the only place I could put it right now, and I keep smacking my head on it, both when I'm sleeping and when I'm getting in and out of the van. So I just need to get it done. And it is just a mess in here, because then I could get organized if I could do all that. Hi, sweet girl. Oh, you are cold because you're shitting. Why are you here when you could be up here on the bed where it's nice and warm? Oh, no, I changed camera view, see, guys. I was just pointing at the bed. Oh, I did lose my mod account. Ouch, fuck. After I just said that I conk my head every time I get in and out of there. And what did I do? I conked my head. Oh, that was my watch telling me I hit 9 miles. So me stepping up into the van hit 9 miles. I don't know. My beard does not get thick. And my hair color is not, doesn't make it thick anyways. So, I don't know what I'm gonna do there. I had to at least trim this down on the chin because it was bugging me. I don't have my other stuff. Oh, hi, Raul. I'm actually just ending, so we just got done running 9 miles. And I am just now just finishing up. Taking a little rest. Trying to figure out why I lost my mod account back here, which I don't know why, but I did. But yeah, thanks for stopping in. I hope you have an amazing day too. But yeah, we just got done. I did my tour of big screen in the van. Yeah, that's my big. I actually have 2 monitors. My other one back here. So, but yep, that's what this is where I live now. This is my home. So I still need to get it fixed up and everything, which is what I was just talking about. I just need to go somewhere and sit and finish building. I have everything well, not everything, but I have most of everything. So I don't know why I just don't do it, but maybe how many of those do I have? I have 2 of those. It's probably not enough. Probably not enough. I wish I should have bought yesterday when I was at the store 2 more 1x4s. and then I could get my stove put in, my stove and my sink. But we are going to end the stream. I might take and just actually, there's a park not too far away over here, and I might just run over there because I can offload a bunch. Now that it's not so windy, I could offload a bunch of stuff and probably get some stuff framed in. At least down here on the front is my main I want to get done, and then I can work on the rest of this stuff. And I really want to rerun my electrical. I'm trying to figure out what I do. I have a friend here that I could probably ask to help, and he would, but I hate to ask people for help. And he probably knows electrical a lot better than I do. I don't know why my monitor thing is all leaning all goofy, but anyways, thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be ending the stream because my phone battery's almost dead after an hour and 54 minutes. As cold as it is out, I had 100% on my phone too. There's no reason why I should have drained that fast, but I think it's because it's so cold out, is why. Talk about my thinning hair I was talking about earlier, that you can really see now that my hair is a lot longer than it used to be. It's more apparent for some reason. I don't know why that is. You'd think it'd be more apparent when your hair's shorter, but anyways, I will see you guys at the next stream, which might not be for a few days. We'll see what we do. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys. Love you all. Bye.